Welcome, my dear students of 6th grade primary school. That's our weekly time for science, and today we will complete the first lesson of unit 4, which is the nervous system. I remind you, بفكركم تاني, we have started the first part of this lesson, which deal with the first part of nervous system, which is the central nervous system. So let's remind you, or let's summarize what you have studied in the last episode. We have studied that nervous system is the communication and controlling body system. It controls all the vital processes. It controls all the operations inside the body. It receives information out environment and also make the body respond to this information. It also controls the system of the body, so it's called the controlling body system. And this system consists of two main parts, which are central and peripheral nervous system. So today we'll complete the second part of this, which is the peripheral nervous system. So before that, let's remind you what we have started last episode. We have started that nervous system is the communication and controlling body system. It controls and regulates all the vital operations of the body. وبتحقق الجسم كل عمليات الحيوية داخل جسم الإنسان. It receives information from the environment and also from the body. It attention and makes the body respond to it. يبقى مهم قوي الجهاز العصبي. الجهاز بيتحكم في كل حاجة بجسمنا. كل operations, كل information from the environment and also from the body itself. It also responsible for knowing if thing is hot or cold, sweet or bitter, rough or smooth. هو بيخليني احس باي حاجه بره عن طريق السنس اورجان. يبقى هو كمان بيتحكم في السنس اورجان. It also adjusts the responses that require emotion. هو اللي بيديني استجابه لاي مشاعر خارجيه او اي environment message او اي رساله من البيئه. It also make you sad or happy, angry or calm. هو اللي بيخليني احس ان انا اكون سعيد او غضبان حسب الانفورميشن اللي جات لي من البيئه. It also oversees and regulates all the multiples of the body, such as moving, feeding, digestion, breathing, thinking and other. بيتحكم في كل حاجة، بيشرف على كل عملية داخل جسمي زي التنفس والهضم والحركة. كل حاجة في جسمي بيتحكم فيها nervous system. So nervous system consists of what? As we said, it consists of two main parts. جزئين رئيسيين هما central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system الجهاز العصبي المركزي and peripheral nervous system الجهاز العصبي الطرفي أو الأعصاب أو الأطراف. Again, nervous system consists of two main parts, which are central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So what about the basic unit of each of this system? As we know, any system consists of organs. Organ consists of tissues, and tissues also consist of cells. So what's meant by the nerve cell? What is the structure of this nerve cell? أي جهاز بيتكون من أعضاء، والأعضاء بتتكون من أنسجة، والأنسجة بتتكون من خلايا. طب الخلايا اللي في الجهاز العصبي زيها زي أي سيل؟ لا طبعا، أكيد هي سيلز من نوع خاص. سبيشال سيل هنسميها nerve cell أو نيورون. So the nervous system consists of millions of nerve cells or neuron. يبقى هنسمي خلايا عصبية nerve cell أو نيورون. And also we have a definition for this. Nerve cell or neuron is the building unit of the nervous system. Again, neuron or the nerve cell is the building unit of the nervous system. هو وحدة جهاز أو وحدة بناء الجهاز العصبي. يبقى هي الخلايا العصبية هي building unit of the nervous system. تعريف مش غريب علينا، أخدناه في سنة رابعة أو primary 4. قلنا إيه هي السيل عموما؟ It is the building unit of the body or the living organism. لكن هنا بتكلم عن nerve cell أو نيورون، خلية عصبية، بقول عليها it the building unit of the nervous system. So what is the structure of the nerve cell? قلنا رسمة مهمة جدا ومطلوب مني أعمل ليبل للرسمة ديت. It consists of two main parts, which are the cell body and the axon. cell body جسم الخلية، axon محور الخلية. And you have a picture for this or an image for this nerve cell or neuron. It consists of, as we said, two main parts. The cell body as we see contains nucleus, cytoplasm, and also it is surrounded by plasma membrane, and also it has dendrites. يعني dendrites يعني تفرعات شجيرية مهمتها انها تعمل حاجة اسمها synaptic area أو اتصال عصبي. So what about the axon? Axon is covered by myelin sheath. بتغطي بمادة دهنية اسمها myelin sheath for protection. And in this way بينتهي بحاجة مهمة قوي بنسميها axon terminals، التفرعات المحور أو تفرعات شجيرية برضو. ليها هدف تاني مهم قوي انها تعمل برضو synaptic area. So now let's summarize the structure of the nerve cell by drawing and labeling it. نرسم مع بعض the structure of the nerve cell. نرسم مع بعض. It contains, as I said, two main parts, which are cell body and the axon. Cell body contains many things, such as that nucleus. Here is the nucleus, and also cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, like any cell, and also it has plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. Okay, and it has branches ليها فروع كده بنسميها dendrites, and this dendrites is very important in connecting between the nerve cells, so to make synaptic area. So what about the axon? This is the axon, ده اللي هنسميه الأكسون أو المحور. Okay, the axon. It contains or surrounded by myelin sheaths, units of myelin sheaths. Okay, myelin sheaths like this, and end as well a very important branches which called axon terminals. Axon terminals يعني تفرعات المحور. And these axon terminals and also the dendrites has the same function. They make synaptic area. So what about the two parts of the nerve cell? They are two parts only, which are cell body, and also the axon. So again, the nerve cell contains or consists of two main parts, which are the cell body and the axon. So we have started up till now the structure of the nerve cell or the neuron. It's called what? It's called the neuron. هنسميها neuron أو nerve cell. It contains also of two main parts, which are cell body and the axon. Cell body contains nucleus, cytoplasm, and surrounded by plasma membrane, and also it has dendrites that make synaptic area. So what about the axon? The axon, like this here, is surrounded by myelin sheaths, and also is ended with axon terminals. So now let us review what we have started in the all the structure of the nerve cell, which is the cell body and also the axon. So the cell body contains, as I said, nucleus, cytoplasm, plasma membrane, and ends with dendrites. What about the axon? The axon is the cylindrical axis, هو محور اسطواني that end with branches بينتهي بتفرعات بنسميها dendrites أو بنسميها كمان axon terminals. So there are some branches extending from the cell body or the neuron's body called dendrites, and this dendrites has a very important function or a very important role in making synaptic area. اتصال عصبي. Dendrites connect to the neighboring neurons to form the synapse or synaptic area, as I said. يبقى وظيفة الدندرايتس انها تعمل حاجة اسمها اتصال عصبي بين السيلز وبعضها. And the axon is cylindrical axis covered with a fatty layer called myelin sheath. الأكسون هو محور اسطواني بتغطى بطبقة دهنية بنسميها myelin sheath. وبليز ناخد بالنا قوي من السبيلنج كلمة myelin مش ميلامين ولا ميلانين. Again myelin sheath مش أي حاجة تانية خالص. myelin sheath يعني غلاف من المايلين. So the axon ends with nerve endings called axon terminals, and these have the same function of the dendrites to make synaptic area or synapse. So axon terminals are connected to the muscles to form a synapse with the other neurons. So now, nervous system consists of, as I said, of two main parts, which are central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. ممكن نسميها بدل central nervous system أو CNS abbreviation اختصار, peripheral nervous system BNS برضو اختصار. So what about the central nervous system, which we have started last lesson or last episode? We have started that it contains two main parts, which are the brain المخ أو زي ما سميناه المرة اللي فاتت الجهاز المخي. أنا مش بحب قوي كلمة المخ لأنها مش دقيقة قوي. والspinal cord أو النخاع الشوكي. The brain consists of, as I said before, three main parts, which are cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. So what about the peripheral nervous system? يعني الجهاز العصبي الطرفي أو الأطراف هو عبارة عن كل النيرفز اللي خارجة من البرين أو خارجة من الspinal cord itself. يبقى peripheral nervous system بيتكون من نوعين من النيرفز, cranial nervous أعصاب مخية and spinal nervous أعصاب شوكية. لسه منها cranial nervous يعني أعصاب مخية ما قلناش عليها brain nervous. هنعرف حالا دلوقتي لسه منها الاسم الغريب دوت cranial nervous. طيب نرجع تاني للبرين. البرين قلنا بيتكون من 3 parts, which are cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. So again the central nervous system بيتكون من جزئين هما brain and spinal cord. نتكلم بالتفصيل شويه عن البرين, نتكلم عنه الاسبوع اللي فات, لكن نتكلم عنه تاني لان هو موضوع مهم قوي قوي قوي. brain It's a nerve block containing millions of nerve cells or neurons and it is the main control center in your body. هو كتلة عصبية فيها ملايين الخلايا من نيورونز أو خلايا عصبية وهي مركز التحكم الرئيسي في كل الجسم. عشان كده ممكن نسمي البرين ده هو الكمبيوتر اوف ذا بودي، هو مركز تحكم الجسم أو هو جهاز خاص بالجسم كده بيتحكم في كل حاجة في الجسم. So again, the brain is the nerve block containing millions of nerve cells or neurons and is the main control center in your body. هو مركز التحكم الرئيسي في الجسم. So now it's located in what? In a bony box called the skull. برين موجود فين؟ في علبة عظمية بنسميها skull أو الجمجمة to protect it عشان يحميه. Again, give reason. Brain is located inside the skull. Why? Or give reason for protection للحماية. It directs and coordinates all the processes, ideas, behaviors and emotions. بيوجه ويتحكم وينسق وينظم كل حاجة بجسم الإنسان. Processes العمليات، ideas أفكار، behaviors السلوكيات and also emotions كمان المشاعر. Again, the brain directs and coordinates all the processes, ideas, behaviors and emotions. It's like a computer. So the brain, we can say it control all the body, or we can say it is the computer of the body. It consists of three parts which are cerebrum أو بنسميهم cerebral hemisphere أو two cerebral hemisphere, cerebellum and also medulla oblongata. So now let me draw a sample section or a sample drawing for the brain to know what is the structure of the brain. The brain, as I said, consists of three main parts. نرسم مع بعض هم 3 أجزاء: cerebrum, cerebellum, and also medulla oblongata. So what about the cerebrum? The cerebrum is called also another name. ممكن نسميه cerebrum. ده بقى اللي هنسميه المخ تحديدا، مش كل ده هو اللي اسمه برين او المخ، لكن cerebrum بس هو اللي اسمه المخ. cerebrum هو جزئين، انا شايف واحد بس انه هنا and the other part is behind it، الجزء الثاني وراه تقريبا بالظبط كده، هو نصين، عشان كده هنسميه two cerebral hemisphere. يبقى ممكن نسميه cerebrum او two cerebral hemisphere. يبقى هو مش جزء واحد بس، السيريبرم ده لوحده هو two parts هنسميهم two cerebral hemisphere. في جزء تاني بنسميه cerebellum ده اللي بنسميه المخيخ، كلمة يمكن أول مرة نسمعها، وده هنسميه medulla oblongata أو بنسميه النخاع المستطيل أو جذع المخ. Again, the brain consists of how many parts up till now? Number one, cerebrum or two cerebral hemispheres. Number two, cerebellum. المخيخ. Number three, medulla oblongata. So we can say the brain consists of three main parts which are cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. So what about each part of them and the function and the rules of each part of them? Let us see what are the structure of each one of them and what is the function of each one of them. As we said, the brain, المخ, consists of three parts which are cerebrum, cerebellum, and also medulla oblongata. So what is the structure of each one of them? I have an image for that. Look here. This image illustrates the structure of the brain, which consists of the cerebrum, cerebellum, and also medulla oblongata. All these pink parts, the big part which is pink, هو ده الcerebrum أو سميناه two cerebral hemisphere لأن هو فعلا نصين. Cerebellum and also the medulla oblongata. So the cerebellum is the second part which lies at the back area of the brain, but medulla oblongata is the tube that extends from the cerebrum and joined to the spinal cord. So now we have a caller from Saudi Arabia. Nayera, how are you, Nayera?
I'm fine.
Okay, Nayera, how is science with you?
Good.
Science is good. Okay, you have a question, Nayera? You want to be asked?
No, I have a question.
You have a question? Okay, what's your question, Nayera?
In mass and weight.
What?
Mass and weight.
Mass and weight. Okay, mass and weight.
The weight of person in a balloon at certain height from Earth's surface equals 70 Newton.
Okay, Nayera, again, please. The mass. The
weight.
The weight. Okay. The weight
of a person.
In a balloon. In a certain
height from Earth.
Certain height from the Earth.
Equals 70 Newton.
From the Earth. Equal 70 نيوتن. اوكي.
What is the weight of the person on the earth's surface?
What is the weight
Of the person on the earth's surface.
of the person on the Earth's surface? It's a complete question here or problem?
Choose.
Choose. Okay. Give me the choices, please.
68 Newton.
68 Newton.
69.
69.
70.
70.
71.
71. Again, the choice Naira, 68. Yeah. 69.
70.
70.
71.
71. Okay. You said that the weight of a person in a balloon at a certain height from the earth equals 70 Newton. What is the weight of this person on the surface of the earth? Can you guess Naira? تقدر تخمني الإجابة صح؟ Can you guess?
71.
71. Why Naira?
مش عارفة.
طيب. Please let me explain this for you Naira. Okay. Imagine that Naira, there is earth here and there is a person on the earth and it equals 100 Newton. Okay. What happened to this person if it is go to a balloon on a certain height as you said? Its weight as we know will decrease. الوزن هناك هيقل. Why? Because we gets far away or gets farther from the earth. So it will be less than 100. So your question says that. Let me go to back your question. The weight of the person in a balloon 70. So the weight on the earth must be more than 70. More than 70 it equal what? I have 68, I have 69, 70, 71. So surely it will be 71 Newton. Okay, Naira? Okay. الوeight decreases as we go far away from the earth and increases as we go nearer to the earth or to the center of the earth. Okay? يبقى كل ما اطلع الويت بيقل، كل ما انزل الويت بيزيد. Okay?
Okay.
You have another question, Naira?
No.
You want to be asked?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Naira. Can you tell me the structure of the brain? Today we study...
cerebrum,
yeah, cerebrum, cerebellum, and also medulla oblongata. Can you tell me also one function of the cerebrum? One function only?
voluntary mood.
It controls the voluntary processes. Okay, Naira, thank you very much for your participation, and please try to call us again in the next episode. Thank you very much. Okay, now let me back to the our lesson of nervous system or the brain. We have decided that the brain consists of three main parts, which are the cerebrum. Cerebrum ده اللي هنسميه المخ فعلا. cerebellum المخيخ and medulla oblongata جذع المخ أو النخاع المستطيل. So let us explain or let us know what is the structure and each function of each part of them. So now cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere, they are two parts as I said. One part is left and the other part is right. And it is the largest part of the brain, the أكبر جزء في البرين. It's divided into two halves, right and left, called the two cerebral hemisphere or the cerebrum. يبقى الcerebrum هو جزئين connected with each other and they are right and left parts. The outer surface is called cerebral cortex. الأوتر surface منه بنسميه cerebral cortex أو القشرة المخية, and it's the gray matter. It has the color gray or gray color. Please note the color now because we have many color in this episode. ناخد بالنا كويس أو من الألوان خصوصا في البرين أو cerebrum and also the spinal cord. And the inner surface is called the white matter. يبقى cerebrum من بره هو لونه gray لكن from inside من الداخل هو لونه white. يعني الcerebrum من تاني أكيد شفنا كتير قوي cerebrum أو المخ بيكون gray from outside and white from inside. So it has the gray matter inside and white outside matter. Sorry, it has gray matter from outside and inner matter is white. So the two hemispheres have many convolutions and folds on their surface. Why? Or give reason to increase the surface area. عشان يزود مساحة السطح ربنا عمل فيها convolutions أو folds ثنايات أو انحناءات كتيرة جدا عشان يزود السيرفيس area because we need many cells in this part. أنا هنا عايز سيلز كتيرة جدا فعشان تكون موجودة في مكان صغير هو السكال ربنا خلى يكون فيها convolutions أو folds انحناءات أو ثنايات. Its function is what? السيربرم عنده 3 functions هم number 1 controls the voluntary movement of the body such as running in races. التحكم في أي أفعال إرادية داخل الجسم such as speaking, such as running, such as walking, such as eating. أي حاجة بعملها بإرادتي أنا وأنا داري بيها. I am aware of this. أنا عالم إن أنا بعمل دوت أو عارف إن أنا بعمل ده. ده بيتم التحكم فيها عن طريق cerebrum. يبقى voluntary actions أو voluntary movement أفعال بيتم التحكم فيها عن طريق cerebrum. The second function الوظيفة الثانية they receive nerve impulses from sense organ. كلمة nerve impulses يعني نبضة عصبية أو رسالة عصبية أو message جاية من أي أعضاء من الإحساس زي eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. 5 حواس بتوعنا and send the suitable responses to this impulse. ويبعت الاستجابة المباشرة أو المناسبة للإمبالس دي أو الرسالة دي. For example, if you see a lion لو شفت lion you will go away, you will run away. هتجري. طب ده حصل إزاي؟ إن الآي بعتت nerve impulse للبرين والبرين بعت الاستجابة المباشرة أو المناسبة عن طريق spinal cord. So again, the cerebrum receive nerve impulse from sense organ and also send the suitable response to this impulse. يبقى تاني وظيفة أو the second function of the cerebrum إنه بيتحكم في السنس organ أو أعضاء الحواس كلها. Number 3 they contain the centers of thinking and memory. هو في مراكز الذاكرة والتفكير. Again, it contains the centers of thinking and memory. التفكير والذاكرة. عشان كده لو حد اتخبط خبطة جامدة على دماغه ممكن جدا lose memory يفقد الذاكرة. عشان كده بليز نقول لما نهزر مع بعض او لما نلعب مع بعض بليز تيك كير ناخد بعض من بعضنا كويس قوي and please don't play with violence ما نلعبش بعنف. So again they contain the centers of thinking and memory. يبقى ممكن نلخص كل اللي قلناه عن cerebrum ان عنده 3 function. Let us summarize them. The cerebrum نكتب مع بعض. The cerebrum او المخ زي ما سميناه cerebrum او نصفان الكرويان هو اول جزء في البرين. Number 1 it controls the voluntary actions or voluntary processes. Number 2 it controls the sense organ بيتحكم في اعضاء الحواس كلها او بيدير اعضاء الحواس كلها. Number 3 it controls the thinking and memory التفكير والذاكرة. So again, it controls the thinking and memory function. So again, the cerebrum has 3 main functions which are controlling the voluntary processes or voluntary actions and also sense organ and also the thinking and memory. So now let us move to another part of the brain which is the cerebellum. الcerebellum أو المخيخ هو جزء مهم جدا من البرين and it controls only one function which is the making the balance of the body or keeping or maintaining the balance of the body during movement. So now let us see the cerebellum. Cerebellum it lies at the back area of the brain. هو موجود في الخلف من البرين below the 2 cerebral hemisphere تحت النصفان الكرويان. Again it lies at the back area of the brain below the 2 cerebral hemisphere and also its function is that it maintains يعني بيحافظ على balance of the body توازن الجسم during the movement أثناء الحركة. Again, its function is to maintain the balance of the body during the movement. And we have studied that. قلنا أكتر من مرة إن في 3 things affect the cerebellum. 3 حاجات بيأثروا على الcerebellum هما insufficient sleeping عدم النوم الكافي, alcoholic drinks المشروبات and also the drugs المخدرات. 3 حاجات دول ممكن يسببوا ان السيربيلم شخص ما ينفعش بنقدر نسميه كده بنقول بيتهز او بيتطوح عشان السيربيلم واخد حقه او مش واخد كفايته في النوم او مأثر عليه بالالكوهوليك درينكس او drugs. So again the function of the cerebellum is that maintain the balance of the body during the movement and it's found at the back area of the brain below the cerebral hemisphere تحت النصفان الكروان او تحت السيربرم at the back area of the brain and also it has a very important function which is that maintain the balance of the body during the movement. So now the last part of the brain which is the medulla oblongata. medulla oblongata from my view, from my opinion من وجهة نظري أنا الشخصية is the most dangerous part of the brain. هو أخطر جزء في البرين because any touch or any operation in this part of the brain means this or any infection أي إصابة للجزء ده معناها الوفاة فورا. Why? Because medulla oblongata controls the involuntary processes بيتحكم في العمليات اللا إرادية داخل الجسم. So what about medulla oblongata? It lies in front of the cerebellum. هو أمام السيربيلم قدام السيربيلم and it connects the brain with the spinal cord بيوصل البرين بجزء اسطواني طويل جدا بنسميه spinal cord او النخاع الشوكي. and its function is that it's responsible for، هو مسؤول عن regulating the involuntary processes، تنظيم اي عمليه لا اراديه. يعني ايه عمليه لا اراديه؟ such as heartbeats زي نبض القلب، such as movement of respiratory system during sleeping، حركه الجهاز التنفسي اثناء النوم، such as movement and functions of digestive system. يعني هل ينفع اوقف حركه الاستمك؟ هل ينفع نوقف حركه الهارت او البلاد circulation؟ No. All these operations are done without my own will، بدون ارادتي انا الشخصيه. ما ينفعش اتحكم فيها، ما ينفعش اسرعها، ما ينفعش ابطئها. I can't control this function. So what is the part which controls this function؟ إذا كنت أنا مش بتحكم فيها، مين بقى بيتحكم فيها؟ It is the medulla oblongata. medulla oblongata النخاع المستطيل هو أخطر جزء من البرين لأنه بيتحكم في الأفعال اللا إرادية، يعني involuntary action. Involuntary action is what? Such as heartbeat, such as the blood circulation, and also the movement of digestive system during sleep. So again, give reason. سؤال مهم جدا. Why or give reason medulla oblongata infection means this. نكتب سؤال مع بعض. Give reason نكتب مع بعض. Okay. Give reason infection of medulla oblongata. Infection يعني إصابة of medulla oblongata أو النخاع المستطيل. infection معناها إصابة، ممكن تكون معناها عدوى برضه، بس هنا معناها إصابة. of medulla oblongata means death. دي معناها الوفاة because medulla oblongata controls what? Controls the involuntary actions, of the body or involuntary processes of the body. هو بيتحكم في أي عملية لا إرادية داخل جسم الإنسان. So again, medulla oblongata is a very important and dangerous part of the brain because it controls the involuntary actions inside the body. بيتحكم في أي عملية لا إرادية داخل الجسم. ناخد بالنا involuntary، لو شلنا بدناها بس IN بقت voluntary يعني أفعال إرادية، دي اللي كان بيقوم بيها السيريبرم، لكن involuntary بيقوم بيها medulla oblongata. So now the medulla oblongata controls the involuntary actions of the body such as what? Such as heartbeats زي نبض القلب، such as movement of digestive system, such as movement of respiratory system during sleeping, such as function of digestive system, such as blood circulation. All these functions aren't controlled by my own will. ما بتحكمش فيها بإرادتي الشخصية، لكن مين بيتحكم فيها؟ It's the medulla oblongata. Again, the medulla oblongata is a very important part of the brain that controls all the involuntary action. So now, what about second part of the central nervous system? As we said, the central nervous system contains two main parts which are the brain، المخ خلصناه خلاص بكل أجزائه، cerebrum, cerebellum and the medulla oblongata. What about the spinal cord؟ النخاع الشوكي. It's a cylindrical axis or cylindrical cord from which the spinal nerves extend. So now let me again draw the section of the brain. نرسم مع بعض تاني البرين. The brain consists of, as I said, cerebrum, cerebellum and also medulla oblongata. Again, the central nervous system consists of two main parts which are the brain، ده اللي كله سميناه البرين بأجزائه كلها، cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata. What about the spinal cord? Spinal cord, it is the rest part، هو الباقي أو الجزء اللي بينزل من medulla oblongata. So it is the spinal cord. So what about those two parts؟ الجزئين دول هنسميهم central nervous system. So again, central nervous system consists of two main parts which are the brain and the spinal cord. The brain, المخ, with its parts, the three parts, cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, and also the spinal cord which consists of, which is the cylindrical cord from which the spinal cord or the spinal nerves extend. هو حبل اسطواني تخرج منه أعصاب بنسميها spinal nerves أو أعصاب شوكية. Again, we now will study the spinal cord, and after a while we'll study all the nerves which are the peripheral nervous system, the cranial nerves قلنا ليس منها أعصاب مخية هنعرف حالا بعد شوية, and the spinal nerves أعصاب شوكية. So now, what about the spinal cord? It extends in a channel، هو بيمتد داخل قناة within a series of vertebrae، داخل سلسلة من الفقرات او سميناها الباك بون او vertebral column برضه for protection. ليه ربنا عمل spinal cord داخل الvertebral column او الباك بون او العمود الفقري او الفقاري؟ برضه الحمايه زي بالظبط ما عمل البرين داخل السكال. So again, it extends in a channel within a series of vertebrae in the backbone, the vertebral column, for protection. It consists of internal gray matter that has the shape of the letter H and external white matter. You notice لاحظنا كويس قوي ناخد بالنا من الكالرز هنا ان الانترنال جراي ماتر ماده داخليه رمادي والاكسترنال وايت. So it's opposite to the cerebrum. هو عكس cerebrum في الالوان. cerebrum كان outside gray inside white. السباينال كورد inside gray او internal gray and outside white. So they are opposite to each other in the colors. And the gray matter is in the shape of the color H. يعني لو اخذنا section مقطع كده عرضي بنسميه section in the spinal cord. يعني spinal cord شكله عامل كده نرسم مع بعض. And I have a section like this. ناخد section منه كأنه شريحة كده. This section show with that the white matter or the gray matter in the shape of the letter H. طبعا مش H بالظبط يعني هو تقريبا الشكل ده. This is the gray matter. And the other part or the rest part is white matter. Again, it has the shape of the letter H. تقريبا بتاخد الشكل H يعني بالشكل قريب من حرف H زي كده. So again, it has the shape of the letter H, the gray matter, and it is the internal matter هي المادة الداخلية الرمادية, and the external matter is white. And the external matter is white, so the colors of the cerebrum is the opposite to the colors of the spinal cord. So again, the cerebrum او المخ زي ما تمناه او اول جزء في البرين هو عكس تماما ال spinal cord in the colors or in the matters, internal or external matter, gray white or white gray. So now what is the function of the spinal cord? دي وظيفة مهمة قوي للspinal cord لازم نعرفها كويس قوي. The structure of spinal cord is opposite, as I said, to the structure of the cerebral hemisphere. It consists of internal gray matter that has the shape of the letter H, external white matter, and comparison between them. قبل ما اقول وظيفته هناخد comparison بين cerebrum و spinal cord. The structure of the two cerebral hemisphere أو cerebrum, internal white matter, external gray matter, and spinal cord is the opposite, internal gray matter in the shape of letter H and external white matter. So what is the function of the spinal cord? Spinal cord كأنه كده أنا بعتبره هو ال vice minister أو vice president، هو نائب الرئيس اللي بيقوم بوظيفة مهمة جدا جدا نيابة عن البرين. البرين مشغول جدا بوظائف كتير جدا منها voluntary action, involuntary actions, balance of the body, and many functions of the brain. So the brain have a very important function and he gave it to the spinal cord. Spinal cord قام بيها بالنيابة عن البرين وهي reflex action. So the main function of the spinal cord is that it controls the reflex action أو بنسميها رد الفعل المنعكس. So again it delivers هو بيوصل the nerve messages from the body organ to the brain. أنا بعتبره كأنه هو جرسون بيوصل النيرف مسجز او اي رسائل عصبيه من البادي اورجان للبرين. دي اول وظيفه ليه. الوظيفه الثانيه is responsible for reflexes، مسؤول عن حاجه اسمها reflex action او reflexes such as the withdrawal of hand quickly، لما زي بالظبط مسح ايديا بسرعه جدا لو لمست حاجه سخنه او بارده جدا، او thorns او اشواك. Again such as withdrawal of hand quickly when touching a hot surface. So again the spinal cord is responsible for a very important function، مسؤول عن وظيفة مهمة جدا سميناها reflex action. كمان هو بيوصل أي nerve message من البرين للspinal cord أو من البادي organ للبرين أو العكس. So now let's have a comparison between the central nervous system اللي هو هنسميه CNS and also the peripheral nervous system. Look here, central nervous system, as we said, contains two main parts which are the brain and the spinal cord, but peripheral nervous system contains two type of nerves، نوعين من الأعصاب سميناهم cranial nerves يعني أعصاب مخية and spinal nerves. طب ليه سميناها cranial nerve؟ ليه ما قلناش brain nerves؟ لأن كلمة cranium يعني جمجمة وهي أعصاب اوريدي داخل الجمجمة أو داخل السكال، هي خارجة من البرين للسنس اورجان او لاعضاء الجمجمه نفسها او اعضاء الراس نفسها. So it's called cranial nerves، عشان كده هنسميها cranial يعني اعصاب مخيه او جمجميه انجاز التعبير. spinal nerves اعصاب شوكيه لانها خارجه من spinal cord. So again central nervous system او CNS consists of brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So now let us have the comparison between each function of each one of them. The central nervous system, it directs and coordinates the processes, behaviors, ideas, emotions, and also deliver the nerve message from the body organ to the brain and vice versa. What about the peripheral؟ الأعصاب نفسها بتعمل إيه؟ ليها وظيفة مهمة جدا. It delivers the sensory information and it delivers also the kinetic response. يعني إيه معنى الكلمتين دول؟ sensory information معناها رسائل حسية أو رسائل جاية من الحواس. For example any sound ده بنعتبره sensory information. أي صوت هو رسالة حسية رايحة للإير، رايحة للأذن. Any smell أي ريحة هي sensory information رايحة للنوز، رايحة للأنف. Any picture or any image it's a sensory information رايحة للأي and so on. What's meant by kinetic response؟ استجابة حركية such as if you see a lion as I said before you will go or you will run away quickly. If you touch a very hot thing you will withdraw your hand quickly. ده اللي هنسميه استجابة حركية أو kinetic response. مين بيقوم بالكلام دوت؟ هو peripheral nervous system أو الأعصاب بالنوعين بتوعها اللي سميناهم spinal nerves أعصاب شوكية and cranial nerves أعصاب مخية. So now we have compared between central nervous system and also the peripheral nervous system. So now let me explain the reflex action, but before that let me summarize what's the difference between the two type of nerves. نوعين الأعصاب اللي درسناهم النهارده هم cranial nerves and also the spinal nerves. So we have peripheral nervous system, peripheral نكتب مع بعض peripheral nervous system, peripheral الجهاز العصبي الطرفي أو الأطراف أو سميناه PNS. هو two type of nerves which are cranial nerves يعني أعصاب مخية cranial nerves. وقلنا ليه سميناها cranial عشان هي خارجة من الكرانيوم أو جوه الكرانيوم اللي هي الجمجمة. And also spinal nerves, spinal nerves أعصاب شوكية. What's the difference between each one of them? Cranial nerves extend from the brain. They extend or they are extending from the brain itself. هي خارجة من البرين. What about the spinal? They extend from spinal cord. هي خارجة من spinal cord من اسمها كده. So what about the difference between of them in the number? Cranial nerves they are 12 pairs. هم 12 زوج من الأعصاب. يعني هم 24 nerves. لو قال لي هم كام عصب هقول له 24 عصب لكن هم 12 pairs أو 12 زوج. They are the same meaning. What about the spinal nerves? They are 31 pairs. هم 31 pairs أو 62 nerves أو 62 عصب. So again we have 12 pairs cranial nerves extended from the brain or 24 nerves extended from the brain and also the spinal nerves which are 31 pairs and also they are 62 nerves. يبقى لو قال لي pairs خد بالي من كلمة pairs يعني زوج من الأعصاب هم 31 لكن لو هتكلم بالكلمة nerves العصب المفرد بس يبقى 62 extended from the spinal cord. So now I have a very important number رقم مهم جدا هو 43 nerves. نكتب مع بعض 43 pairs of nerves. 43 pairs of nerves. Scientific term. Right scientific term for that. 43 pairs of nerves it will be the peripheral nervous system. ليه قلت كده؟ لأن 43 هم 12 pairs هم 12 زوج and if we add لو ضفنا عليهم plus 31 pairs the sum will be 43 pairs of nerves. So the answer of this question will be that peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system أو الجهاز العصبي الطرفي. So again the peripheral nervous system contains two main parts which are جزئين رئيسيين هما زي ما قلنا قبل كده هما cranial nerves أعصاب مخية and also the spinal nerves أعصاب شوكية. The cranial nerves are 12 pairs extended from the brain to the parts of the head to the parts of the sense organs like that and spinal nerves they are 31 pairs extended from the spinal cord to the all the parts of the body. So they have a very important function is that they deliver the nerve message from the body organ to the brain or to the central nervous system and also deliver the kinetic response استجابة حركية from the brain to the parts of the body. So now we have studied all things about the peripheral nervous system and also the central nervous system. So now let us explain what's meant by reflex action in details. Reflex action عملية مهمة جدا عملية مهمة جدا هي سميناها رد الفعل منعكس such as if something gets near your eye لو شيء قرب لعينيا I make blinking برمش if I touch a very hot thing I will withdraw my hand بسحب ايديا بسرعة جدا ده سميناه reflex action. Which part of the nervous system is responsible for that؟ مين مسؤول عن دوت؟ هو جزء واحد بس من النيرفس سيستم كله هنسميه سباينال كورد لكن مش البرين. البرين كانه كده ادى تفويض او توكيل للسباينال كورد يقوم بالوظيفه ديت. So what's meant by reflex action؟ هل reflex action لما بقوم بيه انا بكون داري باللي بعمله؟ No, it's an automatic response. هو استجابه تلقائيه from the body to different stimuli لاي مؤثر خارجي. stimuli يعني مؤثرات such as very cold things, such as very hot things, such as touching thorns, such as seeing good food or smelling good food, and any of this is reflex action. So now let's make a definition. نعمل definition reflex action. It says that it's a involuntary response. هو استجابة لا إرادية that the body makes الجسم بيقوم بيها by the nervous system when it's subjected to different stimuli such as heat, such as light, such as smell, and so on. So now again let's have a definition for that. definition مهم جدا. reflex action is involuntary response. هو استجابة لا إرادية or involuntary action or automatic response استجابة تلقائية that the body makes by the nervous system when it is subjected to an external stimulus. stimulus يعني مؤثر لكن stimuli مؤثرات. هي كلمة لاتينية ما بتخضعش للقواعد الإنجليش. stimulus مؤثر لكن stimuli مؤثرات such as light, heat or smell etc. such as what or which part is responsible for that؟ هو اكيد spinal cord. ناخد بالنا كويس قوي مش البرين اللي بيقوم بالريفلكس اكشن لكن هو spinal cord. examples of reflex action such as what? such as picking up your hand quickly on touching a plant with sharp thorns. بسحب ايديا بسرعه جدا لما المس نبات فيه اشواك such as any plant with thorns. okay again such as prickly pear نبات اسمه prickly pear او نبات الصبار او أبيونشيا التين الشوكي. النباتات دي كلها عندها thorns. when you touch it you will pick up your hand quickly. why? because the nerve ending لأن النهايات العصبية inside your finger give a nerve message to the spinal cord and the spinal cord ordered it to withdraw your hand. والspinal cord أمرها بسرعة جدا إنها تسحب إيديك بسرعة جدا to avoid danger تجنب الخطورة. picking up your hand quickly on touching a plant with sharp thorns. another example of reflex action withdrawing the hand quickly on touching a hot surface. بسحب ايديا بسرعة جدا لما ألمس سطح ساخن such as an electric iron while it's working and I'm not aware of that. لو مكوة كهربائية شغالة ومش عارف إنها شغالة and you touch it you will withdraw your hand. you will pull your hand quickly when touching the hot surface. why? due to the reflex action of the nervous system by the spinal cord. مين اللي قام بالفعل دوت؟ هو spinal cord. مين بيتحكم في reflex action؟ surely it is the spinal cord. another example تاني من reflex action blinking with something when something gets near your eye. blinking معناها ان انا برمش او بغمض عينيا بسرعه جدا لما حاجه تقرب من عينيا. blinking when something gets near your eye. another example constriction of the eye pupil on intense light. constriction معناها تضييق زي ما خدناها قبل كده في الترمومتر هي معناها اختناق هنا معناها تضييق of eye pupil on intense light. let me explain this in details please. imagine that your eye like that عينينا فيها جزء مهم جدا نرسم مع بعض فيها جزء مهم جدا بنسميه eye pupil. it is the small circle like this ده بنسميه eye pupil او انسان العين او اللي بنسميه كده in general النني او نني العين. this eye pupil control the amount of light entering the eye. الاي pupil ده بيتحكم في كميه لايت داخله عينيا. طب لو في intense light ضوء شديد اللي هيحصل في الاي pupil it will be like that. it will be very very narrow. هيكون narrow جدا 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 او يحصل له constriction during intense light اثناء الانتنس لايت او الضوء الشديد. so what about the eye pupil during the dim light? during the dim light it will be like that. it will be wide or it has a widening process. هيحصل له اثناء الديم لايت او الضوء الخافت او الضوء الضعيف جدا widening. why? to enter a large amount of light. يبقى الاي pupil بيتحكم في كميه لايت that enter your eye اللي داخل عينيا عشان كده بيحصل له reflex action او رد فعل منعكس during the intense light and dim light. during the intense light has constriction اختناق او تضييق لكن في الديم لايت بيحصل له حاجه بنسميها widening يعني اتساع. so again it has widening during the dim light and constriction during the intense light. Constriction, اختناق, during the intense light. So now we have many reflex action during our day or all the day long. Why? Because the spinal cord controls all these reflex actions, such as constriction of the eye pupil during the intense light and also widening of the eye pupil during the dim light. Another example of the eye pupil, of the reflex action, widening of the eye pupil during the dim light, because we know the eye pupil controls the amount of light entering the eye, so it makes widening for the eye pupil to have more light for the eye during the dim light. Another example of reflex action is that sweating in hot days. Why? Because in hot days I'm not order, or I don't order my body to sweat. ما قلتش لجسمي انه يعرق. Why? Because there is another part of my body. في جزء تاني مهم جدا في جسمي هو اللي بيقوم بالاوردر ده، هو spinal cord. So sweating in hot days is also a type of reflex action. Secreting saliva on seeing or smelling good food. Secreting saliva، افراز اللعاب عند رؤية أو حتى إن أنا أشم الطعام الكويس، ده برضه بنسميه reflex action. Why? Because the spinal cord controls this process. Also trying the balance during sliding down. محاولة التوازن أثناء التزحلق. واحد اتزحلق من غير ما يقصد أو من غير ما ياخد باله، لكن ممكن جدا يمسك نفسه زي ما بنقول كده أو بيعمل trying balance. Why? Is the brain interfere with this process؟ هل المخ ليه دخل بالعملية ديت؟ لا طبعا، هو اللي بيقوم بالبروسيس دي هو spinal cord only. Spinal cord only has the rule of reflex action or is responsible for the reflex action. Again, trying balance during sliding down, it is the function of the spinal cord. Also running quickly on seeing a fast moving car. بجري بسرعة جدا لما اشوف سيارة مسرعة قوي. طبعا بخاف على نفسي اكيد، بحمي نفسي من اكسيدنت. هنا مش بفكر بالبرين، لكن هو اللي بيقوم بالفعل كله spinal cord not the brain. So again, running quickly on seeing a fast moving car، لما بشوف عربية بتمشي بسرعة قوي، ده اكيد برضو reflex action بيقوم بيه spinal cord. Running quickly on hearing near explosion. لو سمعت explosion انفجار I run quickly. Why? Because I want to save my life. Is this process interfered with the brain? No, it's responsible for the reflex action. So by this point, I'm afraid we have reached the end of this episode. So today we have finished all things about or all information about the nervous system. We have studied the two types of each system, which are CNS and PNS, central nervous system, and the peripheral nervous system. Also have studied the structure and the function of each part of this system. So next episode, inshallah, we will study the last lesson, which is the skeletal system or the nervous system also in the human body. So now, thank you and goodbye.